Hey everyone, this is Laura Gadenik with Laura Gadenik Astrology, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of January 9th through the 22nd, 2023. Before I begin, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe if this content is helpful for you. I would love to even read your comment if you have something to share about how the astrology is impacting you or how you feel like it's being reflected in your life. So that really helps the channel to grow. Also, I'm open for consultation, so please reach out if you're curious about how the astrology is impacting you more specifically. That being said, let's get started. So starting today on Monday, the 9th of January, Venus in Aquarius makes a really lovely trine to Mars, which is just about to station direct in Gemini. Venus is goddess of love and beauty and all things pleasurable, attraction, romance, sex. And Mars is about going after something, pursuing. It's a planet about our energy and how we do things and pursue what we want. So this is a really good pairing for attraction and pursuit. That could mean a lot of things. So this might indicate, having high sexual tensions or attractions to someone, or having the courage or bravery to ask someone on a date that you like, or telling someone that you are into them. So there might be a strong motivation to pursue love, romance, pleasure, to have a good time in general. Once again, Venus is all about having a good time. You might also feel more motivated or inclined to create art and just to create beautiful experiences. Making love or having sex might be especially pleasurable around this time. Whenever Venus and Mars get together, it's usually like just that energy is higher or just more intense. It could also be that you have the motivation or energy to initiate a stylistic change. That could be to your own personal sense of style or beauty, or it could be to something that you're working on. So those are a couple ideas about what this Venus trine Mars is about. And Mars, this is a special time because Mars is about to station direct. That actually happens on Thursday. And when Mars stations direct, it's going to start moving forwards again. And that means that what we've been working through over the last couple months since October 30th, when Mars stationed retrograde, we will finally be starting to move forward with perhaps some answers, some new insights, some new energy. It's this sense of slowly coming out of hibernation, or your energy returning to you, or feeling like you have an idea of what you want to put your energy towards or what you want to work on. And this is going to be specific to the area of your chart that contains Gemini, because that's where this retrograde has been happening. So it's going to be, or it has been, Mars retrograding in Gemini has been kind of working on a particular area of life for you. And so clarity might be slowly coming back as Mars starts to move forwards again. Mars is here in Gemini still until March, so kind of the sense of clarity returning, knowing how to move forward, knowing where to go, what to do, what to take action on. These are things that are going to be coming back as Mars stations direct, which happens on Thursday the 12th. I want to go back really quick to Wednesday the 11th, just a very quick transit. Mercury in Capricorn makes a square to Chiron. Mercury is about messages, communications, the mind. Chiron is the wound, or where we experience pain. So just be mindful of, this could be like an ouchy conversation, or be mindful of what you say to other people. Beware of triggers, but it could be a good day to work through some thoughts perhaps that aren't serving you any longer. So Friday the 13th, the sun makes a really easeful sextile to Neptune. This is kind of a moment to check out if you have the chance to get off work early, rest, get in a flow state, get in a meditative zone. or explore something otherworldly. Neptune is a planet of otherworldliness and flow and creativity, and so just a good day for some rest or doing something creative. Okay, Saturday the 14th, we have Venus in Aquarius making a square to Uranus and Taurus. Squares are a bit more tense. They're of the nature of Mars, so they're a bit more cutting, or there might be an inherent challenge with this aspect. Venus, once again, goddess of love, pleasure, beauty, romance, attraction, relationships, how our terms and agreements that we have with one another. Uranus is the god of change, of unexpected change, of freedom, of high ideals, of rebellion, revelation, revolution. And so themes around freedom in relationships might come up, needing more freedom in relationships or needing to innovate the terms and agreements that you have with someone in relationship. There might be unexpected changes that you're going through in relationship with friends or other loved ones. Once again, Venus relates to our sense of style. So this might be kind of like a radical change in style, or having kind of the impulse to change something drastically about your style. And also Venus, once again, is a planet about love and sex, and Uranus is about doing things differently or doing things a bit more outside of the box. So you might find yourself wanting to explore things with a sexual partner that you haven't explored before. To use this energy more consciously, I would recommend thinking about or brainstorming what are some more radical ideas around love and relationship that maybe you've been scared to explore in the past. What is something new you've been wanting to wear, or maybe a different way you've been wanting to present yourself that you haven't had the courage to do in the past. And so you can kind of use this energy more consciously by thinking about the ways that you would like to innovate your relationships or your style or your projects, your art projects. It's a quick moment. Venus travels pretty quickly, so it's not going to be super long lasting. So, okay. Now, Wednesday the 18th, Mercury stations direct at 8 degrees of Capricorn. So Mercury has been retrograde, I think it was since the 29th of December. Not quite sure on that, but essentially Mercury's retrograde has indicated that we've needed to review something or reflect on something, particularly the part of your chart that contains Capricorn. So it's going to be a different house for everyone depending on what your rising sign is. So whatever you've been contemplating or reviewing, it might also have to do with the things you've been reflecting on or reviewing with regards to where Mars has been retrograding in Gemini, because these are two connected planets right now. Mars in Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules the sign of Gemini. So Mars is looking to Mercury for direction, but Mercury is also retrograding. So if you've been feeling kind of lost or, slow, or you felt like you've needed more rest or to slow down more, this is really normal. We're not really in a forward moving direction really until Mercury starts moving forwards on the 18th of January, even though Mars is stationing direct on the 12th. Whenever a planet stations direct, it's still moving quite slowly. So we're still kind of in hibernation mode until Mercury stations direct. And so when that happens on the 18th, then we might get a sense of, okay, we're moving forward with something that we've been contemplating or reviewing or thinking over with regards to the Capricorn part of our charts. Mercury will be in Capricorn until February 12th. And so that might be basically the time that you'll be kind of moving forward with regards to these topics, or within that time frame. On the same day, on the 18th, the Sun makes a conjunction with Pluto. That means the Sun is coming to the same part of the sky as Pluto. Pluto is a planet about life or death circumstances, crisis and transformation, intensity, passion, obsession. Pluto rules everything beneath the ground, things that are unseen. This could be a tenser moment. Power dynamics might be revealed or show up. You might have intense conversations or interactions with people. It might be that something that was previously hidden becomes unhidden or is revealed, or you find something out. You might have like an intense interest or obsession with something in particular, or really have this desire to get to the bottom of something. These are all very Sun-Pluto things. Additionally, the Sun is a planet that represents people who are famous, people who are leaders or in charge. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see something in the news about a famous person or a leader, maybe something being revealed about that person, some news coming out about something previously hidden. So be curious to watch out for that. On Friday the 20th, the sun heads into Aquarius. So we'll then be in Aquarius season. So this is going to start emphasizing the part of your chart that contains Aquarius. Once again, it'll be a different house for everyone depending on what your rising sign is. Aquarius is a Saturn-ruled sign. So Saturn is a planet about rules and boundaries and structures and systems. However, Aquarius is all the things that are outside of the current rules and boundaries and restrictions that Saturn likes to impose. Aquarius likes to think about how things could be different, how things could be innovated or changed. How can we break the rules? There's a real rebellious streak with Aquarius, and it can be really idealistic, or perhaps even sometimes dogmatic about certain ideas or certain ideals of how society should be structured, for instance. And so wherever Aquarius is in your chart, there's this fixed nature. It's a fixed sign. It's the middle of winter. This fixed ideal or I can't say that word, ideology, there we go, of like how things should be or how things could be. And so this might be a part of your chart where you might be a little bit more unwavering or perhaps more rigid or have really high expectations or ideals. And so this is the part of your chart that's going to continue to be highlighted as Venus is already here. But then on Saturday the 21st, we have a new moon in the sign of Aquarius. This is happening at 1 degree of Aquarius. And so this signifies a new beginning in this part of your chart and in this part of your life. So good time to set intentions, really thinking about what it is you'd like to see grow over the course of the next 6 months for when we have the full moon in Aquarius. That's kind of the time when the new moon intentions might come to fruition. And then on Sunday, the 22nd, Venus makes a conjunction with Saturn at 24 degrees of Aquarius. Once again, this is a quicker moment. You might only notice it for a day or 2 or 3 at most. Venus moves pretty quickly. However, it's an important one nonetheless. Venus is a planet, once again, about love and relationships and connection. And this could be related to when Venus made the square to Uranus earlier, like the week before. It could not be. It could be like a totally different story. But this is, Venus and Saturn could tell a story about commitment in relationships. What are the commitments you have in your relationships? Maybe there were some new ones that came up when Venus squared Uranus, or there was some new ideas or changes that needed to be made. And so this might be a time where we're like, okay, we're agreeing to this. This is our new agreement. So it could be about commitment in relationships or commitment to an art project or to something creative, commitment to a beauty ideal that you have for yourself. Like, I want to get a tattoo in 3 months. What's that going to take? How much money will that be? So kind of creating a plan for that, Saturn. It could also be that Saturn can tend to make things a bit more difficult when it comes into aspect with other planets. So, things like feeling a bit more lonely or isolated, or feeling like it's hard to have fun, or there's a sense of being devoid of joy or pleasure, or hard work comes first before fun. These might be kind of feelings that you have on this day, the day before, the day after. So I would say a good way to use the energy is to work hard on an art project or on a collaborative project, or to think about what the new terms and agreements and commitments you want to make with people that you care about. I think that's a really conscious way of working with the energy. Okay, I believe that is the astrology for the next couple weeks. Hope this was helpful. Please subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Also reach out if you're curious about a reading. And otherwise, I will be back in the next 2 weeks for another astrological update, and I will talk to you then. Bye.